You see that tall tower with all the weird antennas sticking out of it like robots' hair? That's 5G, and everyone is talking about it. Some people say it's going to give us internet so fast we can download movies in the blink of an eye. Other people say it's going to fry our brains like eggs in a pan. Today, I'm going to explain 5G to you like you're 5 years old, so that you can finally understand what all the grown-ups are arguing about. And by the end of this, you'll know whether 5G is the coolest thing ever or something we should hide from under our blankets. First things first, 5G is not actual magic, even though it might seem like it. It's not tiny internet fairies flying around with super tiny laptops, and it's definitely not aliens beaming down cat videos from space. Though, that would be pretty cool. But what 5G actually is invisible waves that carry information really, really fast through the air. Let's start off with what the G even means. The G stands for generation, just like how your grandma is a different generation than you. We've had 1G, 2G, 3G, 4G, and now 5G. Each generation got better and faster at sending invisible messages through the air. Think of it like this. 1G was like sending a letter by having a turtle carry it. 2G was like having a dog carry it. 3G was like having a horse carry it. And 4G was like having a car carry it. But 5G? That's like having a rocket ship carry it. Each generation could carry more stuff and get it there faster. But what are these invisible waves exactly? Well, they're called radio waves, and they are everywhere around you right now. They're the same type of thing that brings music to your car radio and lets you talk to grandma on the phone. Radio waves are like invisible messengers that can carry information through the air without any wires. You can't see them, you can't feel them, and you can't taste them, but they're flying all around you all the time, carrying messages from place to place. Now, here's where 5G gets interesting. Remember how I said it's like a rocket ship compared to the turtle? Well, that's because 5G uses different types of radio waves than the older generations. Some of these waves are super high frequency waves, which means that they wiggle back and forth really fast. The faster they wiggle, the more information they can carry. It's like the difference between writing a letter with a tiny pencil that can only make one dot at a time, versus having a giant magic marker that can write whole words in one stroke. These super fast wiggling waves have a special name, millimeter waves. They're called that because the distance between each wiggle is really tiny, about the size of a millimeter. That's smaller than your pinky nail. Now, those tiny wiggles can carry enormous amounts of information incredibly fast. We're talking about downloading an entire movie in the time it takes me to say supercalifragilisticexpialidocious. Now, that's pretty amazing, right? But here's the catch with super fast wiggling millimeter waves. They're kind of wimpy when it comes to traveling long distances. Regular radio waves, the ones that 4G uses, are like big strong giants who can walk really far without getting tired. They can travel for miles and miles, going through trees, buildings, and even rain without much trouble. But millimeter waves, they move more like tiny athletes who are super fast but get tired really quickly. They can't travel as far, and they get stopped by things like buildings, trees, and even heavy rain. Now this is why 5G needs so many more towers than 4G. I mean, with 4G, you could have one big tower that covers a huge area, like one lighthouse that can shine its light for miles and miles. But with 5G, especially the super fast millimeter wave kind, you need lots and lots of small towers, like having tiny flashlights everywhere instead of one big lighthouse. These small towers are sometimes called small cells, and they need to be much closer together than the old towers. So, how does this all work when you're trying to watch a video on your phone? Let's say you want to watch a funny cat video. Your phone sends an invisible message up to the nearest 5G tower saying, "Hey, I want to see that cat video." The tower gets your message and says, "Sure thing." Then it sends the cat video back down to your phone using those super fast wiggling radio waves. Because the waves wiggle so fast, they can carry the whole video to your phone almost instantly. It's like having a super speedy invisible delivery service just for information. But this is where some people start to worry. They look at all these new towers and all these super fast wiggling waves and think, wait a minute. Is this safe? I mean, it's kind of like when a new type of candy comes out and some parents worry that it might not be good for kids, even if other parents think it's perfectly fine. The people who are worried about 5G have a few different concerns. Some think that all these radio waves flying around might somehow hurt our bodies. Others worry that having so many towers everywhere might not be too good for us. And some people have heard scary stories about radio waves and think 5G might be dangerous because it's new and different. So let's talk about what scientists actually know about radio waves and our bodies. Radio waves are a type of what we call non-ionizing radiation. Now that's just a fancy way of saying that they don't have enough energy to knock tiny pieces off of the atoms in our bodies. Think of it like this. Imagine the atoms in your body are like Lego blocks stuck together. Some types of radiation, like X-rays, are like having a really strong kid who can knock the Lego blocks apart. But radio waves, including the ones used by 5G, are more like having a gentle breeze blow on the Lego blocks. They're not strong enough to knock anything apart. Scientists have been studying radio waves and people for a really long time. I mean, way before 5G was even invented. They have done lots and lots of experiments to see if radio waves hurt people. And most of these studies have found that radio waves at the levels that we encounter every day don't seem to cause any harm. It's kind of like how we know that a little bit of sunshine is okay, but too much sunshine can give you a sunburn. The scientists have figured out safe levels for radio waves, just like they've figured out safe amounts of time to spend in the sun. But here's where it gets a little complicated. Some people point out that 5G is new and we haven't been using it for as long as older types of radio waves. They say, how can we be sure it's safe if we haven't been using it for 50 years? And it is a fair question. Kind of like asking, how do we know that this new type of playground equipment is safe if kids have only been playing on it for a year? Well, the answer is that scientists don't just wait around for 50 years to see what happens. They do lots of different types of studies. I mean, they study the radio waves themselves to understand exactly how they work. They do experiments with cells in laboratories, they study animals, and they look at people who have been exposed to similar types of radio waves for other reasons. And all of these studies help scientists understand whether something is likely to be safe or not, even before we've been using it for decades. The organizations that keep track of safety, like the Federal Communications Commission in the United States and similar groups in other countries, have looked at all this research. They've set rules about how strong radio waves can be and where towers can be placed to make sure that everything stays within safe limits. It's like having crossing guards for radio waves, making sure that everything follows the safety rules. Now, let's talk about the amazing things that 5G is supposed to do for us. Remember how I said that it's super fast? Well, this isn't just about downloading movies quicker, although that is pretty cool. The real magic, though, happens when lots of devices can talk to each other really fast at the same time. Imagine if your house was really smart. Not just turn the lights on and off smart, but really, truly smart. I mean, your refrigerator could notice that you're running low on milk and automatically add it to your shopping list kind of smart. Your car could talk to the traffic lights to find the fastest route to school. Your doctor could monitor your health from far away using tiny sensors. Now, all of this would require lots and lots of devices sending information back and forth really quickly. And that is where 5G shines. 5G is also supposed to help with something called latency. And latency is like the time it takes between when you ask a question and when you get the answer. With older internet, there might be a little delay, like when you're video chatting with grandma and then there's a pause between when she talks and when you hear it. With 5G, that delay becomes so tiny you don't even notice it. This is super important for things like remote surgery, where a doctor in one city might need to control a robot doing surgery in another city. You definitely don't want any delays there. But here's the thing about all these amazing 5G promises. A lot of them haven't happened yet. It's kind of like when someone shows you a picture of an amazing treehouse and says, "We're gonna build this." But then it takes a really long time to actually build it, and maybe the finished treehouse doesn't look exactly like the picture. Some of the coolest 5G stuff, though, is still being figured out and built. The 5G that most people can actually use right now is often not that much faster than good 4G. And that's because the super fast millimeter wave 5G is only available in some places, and regular 5G uses some of the same types of radio waves as 4G. It's like if someone promised you a rocket ship, but then gave you a really nice car instead. The car is still pretty good, but it's not quite the rocket ship that you were expecting. So, is 5G everywhere going to be super fast internet or a hidden health risk? Based on what scientists know right now, it's probably going to be more like pretty fast internet that gradually gets faster over time and is most likely safe. But some people will keep worrying about it anyway. The truth is, 5G is neither the most amazing thing ever nor a scary monster hiding under your bed. It's a new technology that will probably make some things better and faster, while also creating some new challenges. The health concerns that most people have don't seem to be supported by most scientific research, but it's understandable that people want to be careful about new things. The most honest answer is that 5G will probably be fine, and it'll probably make some things better, but it's not going to instantly transform everything overnight. It's more like getting a newer, faster bicycle when you already had a pretty good bicycle. The new one is nicer, but you're still just riding a bicycle. As 5G continues to roll out everywhere, scientists will keep studying it to make sure that it stays safe. Engineers will keep working to make it faster and better, and regular people like you and me will gradually see some improvements in how our devices work. And hopefully, by the time you're a grown-up, we'll have an even better understanding of both the benefits and any risks. So, the next time someone tells you 5G is either going to save the world or destroy it, you can tell them it's probably just going to make your internet a bit faster while scientists keep an eye on things to make sure that everything stays safe. That might not be as exciting as rockets or scary monsters, but it's probably a lot closer to the truth.